Good evening, students. Yesterday I got some screens which was designed by Jonathan. So let's first review them. Presenting my screen. So it has only the login flow. Firstly, when we are trying to design a wireframe or the UI, be it anything, whatever we are designing, we should not have this kind of corner radius for the entire screen itself, because it will be hard when it comes to development. So just use the same frame size which is given in the default option. Use that frame size and don't add this round corners. And even the time stamp might not be required. It's not mandatory to add that. Have login and a subtext maybe to get a better understanding for the user if it's required in gray shade. And so these are all in the separate elements, I guess. Make it one component. This is a single email field, input field, right? So make it one component. It should not be separate. See, even the color is different. So in the empty state of password, we can't have hide and unhide. This icon might not be applicable in the empty state, because without having any password typed, what if the user clicks unhide? What will you show here? The user has not typed anything. Forget password, okay. And the primary color for CTA, since it's a main button, it's fine. Or the user has the login, social logins, okay. So the user can sign up if he doesn't have an account. Yes. And after the user types the email and password, it will be like this, okay, fine. This seems to be a valid email address only. Maybe without having at, you can add an invalid email address and then show this message. And also the spacing between the elements should be right. See, it is 7. We can't have 7 spacing between these two. This is one group. Email and please enter a valid email address is one group. So it should be like 4, only 4 px should be the spacing for this. Okay. And for this it should be a separate like you should give more space, because these two are different fields, right? வந்து ஒரே குரூப்பாக நம்ம மேக் பண்ணணும், ஒரே குரூப்பாக இருக்கணும். ஏன்னா இமெயிலுக்கு ரிலேட்டட் தானே இந்த error message. So since it's relevant to email only, we should group it together. Similar elements must be grouped together. Rest of the things are fine with these screens. And create an account. So if the user doesn't have an account, you can click on sign up and then it leads to this page. And these are the mandatory fields which the user has to fill. Okay, but this star icon, no, it should be the star which is given in the keyboard, not this star. That's how usually all the forms will be, right? So we should use only that star. And if the confirm password is required, you can add that field as well. I agree to all terms. You can't have it as term. Even the copy matters. You can have this in the real app. If you see like this, then what would the users think? Will they be using the app continuously if there are any error in English as well? So make that change. And also, I'm not sure about the font size you've used, so it should be a bit smaller. 18 pixels we won't use. Please refer to the material design guidelines for the font that we'll be using and the spacing. And okay, verification required, code from email. For this, you need not have this text underscore. You can just have this kind of boxes for the verification code and then highlight the first box so that the user knows that he needs to type. Okay, the CTA is disabled because the user has not typed anything in the OTP. So here uh, even the UX copy could be changed even in this, like this could be, please verify your email address, and this one for phone. See, you have written the same mail ID here and saying that enter 6-digit code sent to this email address. That it means that this is a correct email address. But why have you given the same correct email address and then asking the user to enter a valid email address? You should wantedly, intentionally add a wrong email address and then only you should show this error message. Okay. Okay, the user is typing, that is another state. Good. Then email verification. So why is this screen completely different from the phone number OTP verification screen? Jonathan?
Hello, ma'am.
Ah,
Ma'am, I email verification count as verification.
ஏன் இதில் வந்து இந்த கலர்ஸ் எதுவும் யூஸ் பண்ணல இமெயில் வெரிஃபிகேஷனில்?
இல்லை மேம், அது மெயில் மெசேஜ் கவுண்ட் அது டிசைன் பண்ணது, அது மெயில் நான் இன்னும் ப்ராப்பராக பண்ணல.
ஓகே.
அது ஆப்பில் இருந்து மெசேஜ் வரல, மெயிலில் போய் இப்போ நம்ம மெசேஜ் பார்க்கறதுக்கு வந்து டிசைன் பண்ணது.
Email verification screen, okay. For this,
மேம் அந்த அந்த ஸ்க்ரீனுக்கு ரவுண்ட் கார்னர் ஏன் போட்டோம்னா வந்து டிஎன்சி அப்லோட் பண்ணுறதுக்கு வந்து
புரியல.
டிஎன்சியில் அப்லோட் பண்ணுறதுக்காண்டி அந்த ஸ்க்ரீன் கார்னர் வந்து நான் ரவுண்ட் ஷேப்பில்
பிஹான்ஸில் அப்லோட் பண்ணுறதுக்காகவா?
ஓகே. ஏன்னா டிசைனர்ஸ்லாம் வந்து நான் பார்த்த மேக்ஸிமம் எல்லாருமே வந்து ஃபோனில் வந்து அந்த ஸ்க்ரீனில் வந்து அப்லோட் பண்ணுறதுக்கு வந்து ஃபுல்லாகவே அந்த ஃபோன் ஷேப்ல இருக்கணுன்றதுக்காண்டி ரவுண்ட் கார்னர் தான்.
அப்போ அதுக்கு வந்து மாக்கப் ப்ளகின் யூஸ் பண்ணலாம்ல, அதில் ஆட் பண்ணி இந்த மாக்கப்பை ஃபோன் மாதிரியே கொண்டு வரலாம்.
அப்ப அப் அப்ப அது தெரியாது மேம். இது லாஸ்ட் இயர் பண்ணது.
ஓகே ஓகே. I'm adding the layout grid and then setting the margin to 16. So in the left and right side it should have 16 spacing. Please verify your enter the code from your email. Verification code, and then I'm adding the input field. Or you can even add that kind of boxes so that the user will know how many digits they have to fill. this one will be primary. Oh, okay, primary we have used some color. And then we should also ask the user if he didn't receive any verification code, then you'll have to request for resend code. We'll just go with blue. And then the CTA to confirm if it's right. So these are actually the important elements that needs to come in the verification, email verification. And I'm just adding a background for this. Bringing it front and then aligning it and adding auto layout. So for this, let me use the same color, and to bring in the shades of the same blue, what I'm doing, I'm going to Chrome and then searching for shades and tints generator. In that I'm pasting the hex code, I'm getting the shades, I'm choosing one shade, I'm picking one from that and adding it. Verify your email ID should be in the center, and then this. Okay, so this will actually be bit more bigger. No need to add verification code over here because it's already written. Now just align it to the center, and here we can add verify as the CTA because the user should know what action they are taking. This would be underlined and this would be black. Okay. If you want, you can add some background at the top or some illustration at the top. So usually this is how it will be. And the drop shadows are too thick. So what you can do, you can search for the plugin, go to plugins, manage plugins, and then search for beautiful shadows. Run. So just click on this. So here you can see how the shadows are applied. It should be subtle like this. You can even change the color like it. So you can add it in this way. So now see the difference between this and this. This screen is repeated. Please enter a valid email address. This error message is already shown. And here reset password, it will usually not be in dialog box first of all, and then will mostly not show dialog box in mobile app. So and it should also be not in this color even if you show. So if the user clicks on reset password, then a separate dedicated page to change the password should be appearing. In that, the new password which the user is going to set and the confirm password, both the fields should be shown. Okay. So let's design that screen. Again, let's fix the layout grid. I'm choosing columns and then setting the margin 16. And here, verify email ID will be the first screen, and then we are having this create new password. So here, before that, we will have the back button. And what else, other icons we'll be having, hide and show password. I'm adding it in the layer. Now the back button is added. Now I'm just having the title as create, so it's in this auto height. I'm going to fix to auto width. Create new password, and then moving it to the top, adding auto layout, and below that what I'm doing, I'm just having a subtext, so it could be in 12 pixels. Let me adjust the font weight, and then the color of the secondary text, secondary information. You can have the it's center aligned. I'm just aligning to left so that it doesn't move. I'm asking maybe ChatGPT to generate a subtext, okay? Below the title, create new password. Okay, set a strong password to keep your account secure. I'm just copying it and then pasting it over here. And now what I'm doing, I want the input field to be added here. So since I'm I want to make my job easier, and then so I'm just reusing the component that is available in the community. I'm going to material 3 design kit. This is available in the Figma community, you can just check it out. Here I'm going to the input text fields. Okay, in that I'm getting all the text fields, so I'm finding if something that would suit me, or yeah, this, I'm just copying it and then pasting it over here. So it's in the component. I don't want the supporting text, I'm disabling it, the trailing icon, the icon which was present here. uh, if possible I can add it and then explore switching to another icon, but no. I'm changing it to password and it's highlighted, so I'm using the same primary shade. And I don't want any fill, but if the fill is not there then the stroke is appearing, so okay, let the fill be there, but I want it to be in the same color, like it should be plain white. Create new password, so the user can type the password over here, and then again the user should type the password. It should be actually 24, and here let it be in gray shade. It need not be this. Confirm password, and then the stroke could be in this color. Just detach the instance, so over here instead of this let's have this in black shade. If you find this bit difficult, then you can even create it on your own. Input fields are just easy to do it by yourself as well. make the stroke bit lighter. It's too dark, it's thick. Let it be one or two is fine. Let me just check. Yes. So this being too you are also adding the password hide over the same content layer. Have it like this and then add auto layout and then text field state layer. And then we will have reset create new password. Why we are having that? Because it's for the for resetting the password only we are having this entirely. So the spacing 24 48, okay, and over here it's 54. So it should be in a separate page like this. And after that, what you can do, ungroup it. Just have it over here. Then you can write as password. Just password password reset, and here your password has been reset successfully. So what would be the action for the user after this? In the top you can have some illustration like password reset illustration, where you can find so download that. And then here image downloads, add that. Press K in your lab, and then you can resize it, then align it to center. If you want, you can make it bit bigger. This one, make it bit bolder. And even this, you can just make it semi bold. Or also right. So this is actually the screen size. I've made it for Android, and then this one for iOS. So just fix one screen size and then follow it accordingly. You need not mix up. I'm just showing it for the demonstration purpose. So this is how it should be separately done for the dedicated change new password. It should not be like a dialog box. It's good that you have not missed any of the screens, but it's also important to remember that we need to have a separate dedicated page for reset password and to show the success message. The success message should be shown like this, along with an illustration maybe, because it can't be a blank screen entirely. Okay, so even though the message is small, still we should try to cover that message along with some kind of illustration to cover up the entire screen. This error message you can't suddenly show. For you need to show that before the user commits an error. So like this, use at least 8 characters with mix of letters, numbers and symbols. This one you can just copy, and then go to Figma, add over here itself. If you add over here itself, then the user will know that if he doesn't add the characters, 8 characters mix of letters, numbers and symbols, then he'll get an error message. He'll understand it before he commits an error itself. So don't give any surprise to him that he needs to complete this, so that the user might get frustrated and leave the app immediately. Okay. So it's actually a good work, and try to incorporate the feedback that I've just given, like the suggestions that I've given. And anyone else, do you have any comments, or what do you want to say on Jonathan's work? Vinod, Vaishali, do you want to add anything to that? Okay. If not, let's begin with the UI design fundamentals. Yesterday we saw the UX wireframe, and I've also given an assignment to work on a wireframe. Like one single page can be done. You can work on and bring it on Monday. We'll discuss on the same. And after we are done with the wireframes for the case study, we can start with the UI. For the UI, we need to understand the basics in order to design the screens. Okay, so most of you have started designing UI. I appreciate that, but also we need to have a strong foundation in the UI design before we jump into the high fidelity screens. So actually, what is UI design? That's the process of designing visual and interactive elements of a product. So uh, it covers the interactions, like how a user will engage with the app, what kind of interactions will the user have. He'll also able to see the micro interactions within the app when he interacts with the app, like he engages with the app by clicking on certain components, like the buttons, and then he can get to a view of the next page. And then uh, that's how like the visual aesthetics of an user interface. UI elements add interactivity to the user interface by providing touch points for the user while they navigate through. Like, yes, the user can navigate through, and then every time the user clicks on one, and then it directs to the other page. That time we can have some micro interactions as well. Like if the user clicks on the favorite button in a e-commerce page like Mintra, we can just have a micro interaction in that itself, like the heart icon. That is what will be given for, like, wish lists. To add a product to the wish list, we'll have that heart icon, right? That can glow up, like it can bounce, a tiny interaction that could add some feeling, like emotion to the user. It can make the user buy that product. So it bridges the gap between wireframes and final product look, like between the wireframes, like the low fidelity that we have worked on, and between that and the final product, how the user will use that app, the final product. So it builds the it bridges the gap between these two things. UI is the point of interaction where the user and a digital device interacts. A user can make use of the app that we are designing for, or the website that we are designing. So how they both are getting engaged, that point is known as UI design. So it's the process of creating aesthetic and pretty screens, along with the aspects of how the product will actually look like, what are the colors, brand colors that we'll be using, and we'll replace the placeholder images like with the real images, along with the UX content copy that is written well framed. It should be understandable by the users, and the button should have the exact UX copy along with the button states. Like different button states could be, like one could be enabled button state, disabled, and what if the user hovers on a particular button, what should it show, should it change color, so something like that. And text, what kind of font are we going to use, and are we going to use the same font throughout, or will the title font be different and the subtitle font, like the entire content of the app will be different. We should check upon those lines as well, check boxes, images, and so on. So these are all the components that UI design comprises of. Basically any visual interface elements that people interact with. So anything that is visually good, uh, and the people, the users are interacting with that interface. is known as UI design. So visual hierarchy, we need to organize the elements in order to get the attention from the users. In see compare both of these components, like how is it visually arranged. First we have the image of the person, the tech, like his name, and then his designation. Then we have the followers, like how many followers he has, how many products he has, and how many posts he has posted in a social media application. This is one way of showing the information. The other way of showing information is by categorizing, like we are just having adding some kind of icons which are relevant to each of the information. We are having the image and then we are grouping them together. The person's image, name, and the designation can be grouped together. So according to the similarity, we are just having it all together. In the left hand side we have the image of the person, and then we are having his name. Below that we are showing his designation in a reduced opacity color, like the secondary color, not actually the secondary color, but in the neutral color we are showing, because it is less important. The name is more important, so we are having the title and we are highlighting that as title. See the size difference, the font size difference between both of them. And then we are having the icons along with the context, so that the user on a single glance can understand each. And we are also reducing the opacity so that it won't be uh, cognitive overload, or maybe the user will find it bit hard to understand each and everything, like they need to spend few minutes to understand what each and everything means. Having some visual elements like icons or images or illustrations, and even videos, so these things will actually reduce our effort. It will make us more interested in the content that is actually written. So these icons are assisting users visually to identify the context, and it also the content is also in reduced opacity, so that it will be easy for the user to read what it is actually. And for visual hierarchy, how are we categorizing these things? By using the size, like by prioritizing the most critical information will be in the bold font, and the title, it will be like title text, it will be in bigger font size, and the less emphasized information will be in smaller size font. And then we are also using colors to differentiate between what is more important and what is less important. For primary, we'll obviously use darker shades of black, and for secondary we'll reduce the opacity or go one shade lower to black, that would be gray. And we are also using contrast colors, and the placement is also important when it comes to prioritizing the information. What is important, that needs to be clearly defined, and it should be in a place where the users will actually see. And this also helps users understand what they need to focus on first, second. So we are giving a clear picture for the user to let them focus on what they want to see first, second, and so on. And we are also grouping related information together, like container could be a card. Within a card, this is a card, okay? In this card we are having the information. And even if you see a e-commerce site like Nike or any e-commerce site you take, in that you will have a card, and then along with that you will have an image, the title of that product, subtext, and the price maybe, and how many reviews that product has. for each and every product that will be the format in the product listing page. So they have grouped the uh, related content together in one card. And we should also align the elements to guide the eye. So usually from left alignment is preferred by the user, or it could be top alignment which will be preferred by the users. I think by this we can end today's session. If you guys have any doubt, you can ask me. Else, let's see on Monday. And before that, try to complete the assignment, and whatever you're working on, the case study that needs to be completed, you can even share the Figma file to me. Okay, if you don't have any doubts, then let's see on Monday. Yeah, thank you.